Welcome back to my channel, everyone, and today we are going to work out if you are blonde blind. So you might be watching this video because you feel like your blonde just isn't blonding, or you're thinking about maybe changing your blonde, or you just want to know what the hell blonde blind is.
So you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde?
Well, as a professional hairstylist, I'm going to break it down for you right now. So blonde blindness is essentially where you want to be super blonde, super ashy, super creamy, super white, and you want that, and you keep blonding, and you keep lifting your hair, and you keep foiling it, and you keep wanting more, and you still see yellow and all the rest of it. And what the actual fact of that is that you're actually already there. Sorry to say, you're already there, or you're as far as your hair can take it. Blonde blindness is also where you're really obsessed with being so blonde, but it doesn't actually suit you. Now I'm going to hit you up with some hard truths and facts, and you may not like them, and I'm sorry for that. So you might have had it where you've seen a beautiful photo on Instagram or Facebook, or your friend sent one to you, whatever it is, and you've gone to a hair salon and you've been like, that please, and they've done a job and they've said, yeah, that's fine, we'll do it. They've done it all, and then you go, oh, it's nothing like the photo. Now, most of us have all been there. What's essentially happened with that scenario is that the person in the photo has completely different hair to what you have. Okay, so their hair history is very different. For example, the brunette that you may have put on your hair even 2-3 years ago is still in your hair, unless of course you've had that cut out. But you've got that on your hair, whereas the person in the photo has always been blonde. The other important thing that might have happened is your base color is different. Let me explain to you what a base color is. I'm going to put up a chart here. Now, base color means how light or dark you are. That could be of your natural color or artificial color, okay? So everyone has a number. Now, naturally, I'm a base 7. So I want you to now look at this, look at these swatches, okay? And find out what base color you are. Okay, your hairstylist will obviously be able to confirm what number you are, but it's important to know what your base color is because it does make a difference when it comes to blonding. Also, to circle back to the whole picture scenario, I want to remind everyone that as hairstylists, we can't just copy and paste because, as I said, hair type, base color, and hair history, all completely different. So have you worked out your number? Because if you have, I want to explain a few things to you on why the blonde blindness happens. If you're a natural base color 6 and below, then your blonde is more than likely lifting up yellow, or it is getting white, but it doesn't stay white, or you get a really harsh regrowth. This is all because you're naturally very dark. So scientifically, that's actually quite hard to lift in the first place. But then it's also going to grow out really harsh just because you are so far apart in base. If you're a base 6 and below and you're trying to be on that side of the base chart, it's quite the jump. So you imagine those two next to each other, that's why you're getting such a harsh root. It also means that you more than likely have underlying warm pigment, which means that that's why it's lifting up sort of. You may have had orange in the past, but you definitely will lift up yellow, and then you have to take out the yellow with a toner, and toner, of course, fades out. So what can you do about that? Well, if I was your hairstylist, I'd probably say to you, girl, it's time to start toning it down. Let's just stop fighting it. You probably don't suit being that blonde either, but you just don't see that. Blonde blind. So what can you do about that? I want to recommend a couple of things, okay? So one of the biggest things I always recommend is to do a low light. Now, don't be scared by that. A low light can be your friend, okay? So what a low light can do is actually make the blonde look blonder. So you know when you're just thinking, oh, I just need to whack a load of blonde to it because I want to be super blonde. In theory, sometimes, yeah, that works. But other times, that actually is counterproductive. If you put a low light into it, so a softer, darker color, maybe along the same color as your base, that number, or just above it. That will actually help you out a lot because what that will do is light sitting next to dark makes the light look lighter. It also will do another phenomenal thing for you. It will take the edge off the harsh root that you inevitably get at 4 weeks, softening up the entire look, bringing in more of a quality looking blonde. Give it a whirl for one go, and if you don't like it, go back to chucking a load of blonde in your hair again. Another part that I actually wanted to discuss is that not all blondes suit everyone. Okay, so I'm going to use me as an example, right? So here is me ice white. Here is me creamy blonde, but still very, very blonde. Here is me highlighted with a low light, which we just spoke about. Here is me more lived in, and here is me blonde, okay? Now, blonde is basically a light brunette, dark blonde. Now, I'm naturally a base 7, okay? So if you're a base 7 and above, you generally can pull off all the different types of blonde. However, what you also want to take into consideration is your skin tone. So for me, and I'm the example today, I have more of an olive sort of golden undertone. I just have that skin that kind of tans up very well. So what actually doesn't suit me is the ashy and the really, really white blonde, because it just draws out all of the warmth that's in my skin tone. So actually, I suit more of the low lights and below. Like my color right now is faded off blonde. So it was darker, but it's just faded out. And that's great because I like low maintenance. I know I'm a hairstylist, but I'm still really lazy with my hair. Sorry, not sorry. So going back to your blonde blindness, it might be that you are really, really bright and you want it really, really ashy, but actually it won't actually suit you. So just think about the different types of blonde that you can have that would actually complement your skin tone, your lifestyle, and the maintenance of that, as well as what goes well with your base color. So going back again to that base color situation, I would probably recommend going for the low lights and below. If you're above a base 7 and beyond, knock yourself out. Go really, really light, do all that. If your skin tone's a bit more pale, go for the ashy, go for the white, go for the creamy. Fabulous. Now remember, these are just my recommendations and what I advise to my clients. Of course, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. And actually, sometimes people can pull off the exact opposite of what we would recommend for their skin tone, their base color, their lifestyle. So I just wanted to throw that one in there too.
The rules of hair care are simple and finite. Any Cosmo girl would have known.
What I want you guys to think about is what blonde would actually suit me. Think about not necessarily how light it is, but also what tone it is. I always think about 2% of the population can actually pull off ash tone. It's not that nice, but yet we're all obsessed with this kind of really ashy, silvery look. Why not go a bit more buttery with it or a bit more golden? Like, don't be scared. Or even copper. I'll insert a little picture of me copper. I love it. Whole vibe. Like, just have fun with it, you know? And with that, maybe try a lived-in look or just a, little money piece, just something soft, Just try it out first before you think, I want platinum. Now, I hope this video has been some sort of help to you and not too complicated. If you could just take a little moment to just like this video and subscribe to my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. Let me know how you get on with your journey, and happy blonding.